Okay guys, so here we're going to take a peek at all the different things that you need to make your AlexaPi. At least that's what we've been starting to call it here. So, Raspberry Pi, first thing. Now I've got a Raspberry Pi 3. I've noticed that this is the main one that I use, is the Raspberry Pi 3. Works very well since it has the fast processor and whatnot. I'm sure that the Raspberry Pi B+, which that's what this one is, I've got it in a case that I 3D printed, but the B+ can probably work just fine as well. The key to the speed of this whole thing is these little micro SD cards that are the extreme. Oh, get some light on it. You have to make sure you get the right classification. This one is an HC1, has the classification 3 on it, and I'll kind of go over that. I'll pull it up on the computer and go over that. Basically, it's how fast these are. It's the speed of the flash on this, and you want the ones that are super fast. And the ScanDisk Extremes are the ones, they're not too expensive. I think they're maybe like 20 bucks or something. They're not horrible, but still, you probably want one of these because it is way faster. If you've ever gotten one of these Raspberry Pi 3s that are the big boom zoomer ones, and they just barely work, you know, they seem like they're just lagging, and you're just like, well, wait a minute, I thought this was supposed to be this super fast thing. Well, that's what you're right. It is the super fast one. The processor is fast. The only problem is your card that you're using. If you have those generic, just like ones you buy at Walgreens or someplace like that, which Walgreens or CVS or whatever it is, like the pharmacy or whatever, they're not these high-speed ones. You need the high-speed one to really get the power out of this. It's a huge difference. Okay. You need a little microphone of some sort. I bought this off of Amazon. I'll put a link down in the old description box down there. But this is a little microphone that's literally just a little USB one that just plugs right in. That's all you need. And you need some corded speakers. And the reason I say corded is because currently, you know, this is November 2016, okay? Currently, it does not support any other audio besides the audio jack here or the HDMI audio out. That's the only audio that this project supports currently. So I have tried a billion different things. My first thing was I was wanting to use these little USB speakers, and I can get the USB speakers to work fine. I can recode the audio, the ALSA engine that comes on the new Pixel, which is the Jessie implementation for Raspberry Pi, the Raspbian. It's the Jessie version, which is, they're calling it Pixel now. You can rewrite the ALSA audio codec and tell it to route the audio to these. It works for everything but the Raspberry Pi, or for the Raspberry Pi Alexa, and it's because the Alexa code that goes on the Raspberry Pi is not coded to utilize something like that. So it will only use the audio jack here or the HDMI. So use something that has audio cord. These are just some powered USB speakers I have. You'll notice when I go to the demo portion of this, that they're not really that great sound quality or whatever. It's because these have been literally beat to crap. I've had to cut the end of this off because it got all torn up and resolder a new one on, and it's been beat up. So these really aren't that great. However, they're the only ones that I have that are not battery powered or something like that, because you want to use something that takes its power from the Raspberry Pi, so that way you're not having to recharge batteries and stupid stuff like that. You can just plug this thing in and you're done. And of course you need a wall outlet, wall adapter that has the micro USB to power the whole thing. So now we're going to jump over to the computer and we're going to check out how to actually set up and code all of this. So I'm going to plug all this stuff in and get it all set up. And that's another benefit to the Raspberry Pi 3 is it has Wi-Fi. So you don't have to plug in the wired connection if you don't want to. However, if you're dealing with a Raspberry Pi B, it does not have Wi-Fi. You have to use the network connection. So anyway, put all this together and we're going to set it up and we're going to see what we can do and get her going. See you in a minute. Okay guys, so to begin this journey into creating your own Raspberry Pi implementation of the Alexa, what you will have to do is, first off, you will have to create a developer account with Amazon. Now, this is very simple, especially if you already have an Amazon account. You just tell it that you want to add it. I'll give you the link down in the description, but once you set it up, it will bring you to this looking console, which is the developer console. So what we'll do now is we click on the Alexa tab. And now I've already got mine configured, so I'll just be kind of going over the movements that you'll see, and I'll let you know the different things because I've already built mine. So I'm just going to be running you through all the steps, okay? So I'll also put in, from Lifehacker, has a really good detailed description of all of this, and I encourage you to go check that out because that's really what helped me put mine together very well too. So I have to give my kudos where kudos are due, and to lifehacker.com I've got to give a hats off to them because they were very helpful in at least the page that I went to. So I'll put that link down in the description as well. So when you get here, you're going to do Alexa Voice Services. You're going to hit Getting Started, and as you can see, there's mine. I just called mine RasPi. I even put a picture of a Raspberry Pi on there. Ha ha ha. Anyway, but first things first, this will be blank, okay? I'm sorry, I may have to mute the mic here and there because I have to cough. I'm kind of starting to get a cold, so you'll have to excuse me. So first thing you do register a product type, and you're going to choose device, okay? When you choose device, then it's going to ask you some questions, and it'll look like this edit menu. First thing it'll do is it'll ask you what your company name is. Well, you just type in, whatever you want to type in. I typed in my MI Sperry. Device ID tag, you type that in. Type in your display name. I call it RasPi. Is what I called mine. So you just type all that information in, okay, and you hit next. Okay. Now it's going to give you, I've got these blurred out, but it gives you your product ID, your client ID, and your client secret. You need to make sure and keep those handy. You want to make sure and not don't delete those, or don't not write these down, or basically cut and paste these. That's what I did. I cut and pasted these into a text file because you will use these later when you're setting up your Raspberry Pi. This is how it actually contacts and gets the tokens and connects it to your developer account so that it can use the abilities. So write these numbers down, or since they're huge hexadecimal numbers, you can't see them because they're blurred, but they're very big numbers essentially. So just cut and paste those into a text file. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is click on Web Settings, okay, and you're going to enter this information. You're going to put in the HTTPS because this will all be blank when you first do it. So HTTPS localhost port 3000, and then localhost port 3000 auth response, okay, for the authorization response. So you want to type that all in, and then we're going to go to our next spot here. Make sure. So we'll click next after you do that. Then this is going to be the device details tab. Doesn't really matter what you really pick in here. You can just pick I picked categories other. I mean, you could choose automotive, gaming, whatever, however you want to categorize what you're going to use this for. Description, I just put basic Pi Jarvis because ultimately I'm going to turn this into like a Jarvis system. That's something I've been working on. I'll probably tweet out some photos once I have some more information and more tangible objects that I'm showing you guys what it'll be doing. But anyway, so that's what I named it. Just as the description. It says, what is your expected timeline for commercialization? Well, I'm not really going to commercialize this, so I put longer than 4 months and to be determined is what I put. So anyway, you guys put whatever you want on this page. Hit next. It's going to ask you if you want to apply for access to Amazon Music. Now, I don't use Amazon Music, but those of you, if you do, I think you can somehow hook it up to your Amazon Music, and that way it'll play your music files. I chose no. Up to you, whatever you want to choose, because this is your Raspberry Pi Alexa. So anyway, once you get done with that, you'll hit save, and that saves all that, and that should finalize everything, and then it'll give you basically back, I believe it takes you back to this dashboard showing you that your device has been created and everything. So now, once you've done that, now what you have to do is you need to clone and install your Raspberry Pi Alexa stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll pause the video for a second, and I'm going to bring up my Raspberry Pi in a terminal window, okay? Okay, so, whoops, I want to do that. Put that here. Okay, so this is my Raspberry Pi. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take and clone the Git repository. Now, since I've already done it, I'm not going to actually press enter, but I will type the command so that you can see it. Okay, so first off, we need a CD to desktop because we'll just throw this on the desktop. We're going to do git clone https://github, github.com/Alexa avs sample app git. Okay, and then when you hit enter, what this is going to do is it will clone the repository and give you this. It'll give you this folder. Okay. Now, probably when we go through this, I'll probably go ahead and reinstall it because it doesn't hurt anything reinstalling it, just to show you how the installer does its thing. But anyway, oh, this ain't New Leaf. That was me playing around with MP3s. Anyway, but you'll get this Alexa. Okay, deal. So you're going to CD to that now. Alexa AVS app. All right. So then you're going to VI the automated install.sh. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. And when you VI that, it's going to bring up. Okay, so where you get these, these is from that one place. Remember what I was talking about? Let me minimize it. Here it is. Here, see the deals there. So that was what it was to put these in at. Okay, see, I've got these blurred out, but that's where you type that is in here. Once you've done that, we're going to do quit, get out of there, and you can use Vim or VI, or I use Vim. I have to install Vim. By the way, it comes with standard VI. Vim is VI improved, but anyway, so you just have to do an apt get on that to get Vim, but you can use Nano. Let's see, Nano automated install sh. Do the same thing. Does the same thing. It's just, I don't know, I've gotten used to VI, so I use VI. But either way, however you want to text edit that, put that in there. So once you've done all that, now you're back to this command line. So what you need to do now is you're going to have to run the install script. So you're going to do a dot and automated install. Okay, so we're going to fire that up. It's going to ask you a few questions. So do you agree to the terms and conditions? Yes, we do. Do you have an Amazon developer account? Yes, we do. Then it brings up your stuff again. Again, I have these blurred out, but yeah, it tells you that you've got your product ID and your client ID and all that stuff. Yes, we have that. That's all correct. Are you going to use the 3.5mm jack for audio output, or no, if you're going to use the HDMI output? See, that's what I was telling you. At this point in time, it only uses the 3.5mm or the HDMI, one or the other. It does not use any other way of doing it. Now, maybe later on, this might be null and void, and you might be seeing a note right now saying that, you know, it's different now. But for now, it's not. So I'm going to say yes because I want to use the 3.5mm jack because that's the kind of speakers I have. So yes, and then do you want to enable Alexa wake word detection? Now, yes, you do. This is the basically when you say Alexa and it recognizes it and then it turns on. That's what this is. So you want to install that? Yes. So now we're going to let this boogie on through here. Now it's going to probably skip a lot of the packages and not install anything because I've already installed this. So there's going to be lots of stuff that it'll jump. I don't know, maybe some stuff it'll update. But I'm going to go ahead and let this roll. I don't think you guys need to sit here and watch this whole thing roll. It can take up to, I believe, about 30 minutes, I think, for this to completely install. So give it some time. Let it sit because, in fact, I think that it will also start building, and it starts building all of the C libraries and everything and doing all that stuff and actually compiling everything, which takes a long time. So be patient, be prepared, let it just sit here and roll for a while, and I'm going to pause the video now, and we'll come back when it's all finished. Okay, guys, and through the magic of time, we are complete. All right. So now we have installed everything and everything is ready to go. So what we're going to do now is normally you could go ahead and start it right off the bat, but since we have our microphones and stuff, I'm going to CD back to my home directory, clear this out, get rid of all that gunk. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the microphone levels and make sure that, because a lot of times the microphone, when you plug in a USB microphone, it will come in like dead silent. And so you have to literally be like right on top of the microphone before Alexa can hear you. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the input volume. So for that, you type ALSA mixer. Okay, all one word. Brings up the little mixer deal. Now, If you want to look at playback or capture or whatever, if you press F4 or F5, I've noticed that with this version, it just crashes. So what you need to do is press the tab key, and you can tab through all those. Now, currently, the card that we're looking at is the onboard Broadcom 2835 ALSA card, okay? So what you have to do if you want to select other cards to look at, so this one's going to be basically your playback. This is going to be your audio through your 3.5 millimeter jack, okay? So it looks like it's set, and this is literally the volume level. See, yeah, I'm using my arrow keys right now, and I can increase it, make it crazy super loud, or I can dial it back down and make it quieter. Okay, now if for some reason this doesn't work, I'll show you some troubleshooting things that I found that my audio wasn't working originally, but I'm gonna have to actually go over to the monitor to show you. So we'll do that here in a minute, and I'll show you a little bit of troubleshooting stuff here at the end. But anyway, to select the microphone, you're gonna have to, like it says, select sound card. You press F6, which I'm pushing now. Okay, I'm going to use my arrow keys, go down to USB PNP sound device, because that's the one. Normally, if it isn't recognized, it'll just be this BCM, ALSLA, and default, and that'll be the only options. Oh, and this enter device name. Those will be the only options if it does not recognize your USB audio device. However, I plugged in a Rock Band microphone since it's USB. I don't know those of you that play video games, but if you play Rock Band, you know it's a USB mic. It recognized it and it worked just fine first time I played with this. So I'm pretty sure it'll pretty much recognize anything. So, but I'm sure there's some stuff out there it won't. So you select that one by pressing enter. Okay, and then right now it's on playback, which is this auto gain control thing. We want to go to capture, so you're going to hit tab. Brings you to capture, okay, and then you can increase it. I've already got mine turned up. Normally it comes in like down here. It comes in really low. So I would suggest bumping that up to right below the red region. That's what I do. Now once you've done that, all you got to do is hit escape to exit, and it saves it. So if I were to go back, okay, press F6, look at my card, press tab. Okay, see, it saves it. It saves that I changed that audio level, okay? So that's all you have to do to set up your ALSLA mixer. So now you have to run a few commands. Now, if you're anything like me, there's certain tutorials, pretty much every tutorial I've ran across is like, you have to open 3 different terminals and do all this stuff. No. What you do is, I have written my own script. Okay, I just wrote a quick bash shell script. You have to start the companion services first. Okay, so you have to CD to your Alexa AVS sample app, and then to the samples folder, okay? And then you have to run this command. You have to CD companion service, and that with npm start, and then I put an ampersand after it. What that does is run it in the background, which allows the terminal to be relinquished and you to type more commands. It runs it, it just puts it in the process scheduler is what it does for Linux. Okay, so now run the sample app. So I put a little deal that says starting the sample app. That's all echo does. It just echoes this text to the screen. And then you CD to that same folder again, to the samples folder, but then you issue the Java client command. You issue the command to start the execute deal. So you CD to Java client and it with MVN. Well, you can read it. And then the ampersand sign, that starts that in the background. And then what I do is this will actually fire up a web page that you'll have to do some stuff on. So all this stuff I'm not going to run from a terminal window. I'll probably run it from the actual screen. I'm going to see if I can maybe get VNC to work. If it doesn't, then I'll just tape the screen. But anyway, it'll bring up like I said, a web browser that you'll have to log into your Amazon account with. Once it does that, it'll give you a screen that says tokens ready, and we'll see this here in a minute. So what I did was I did a read command and basically make it wait for the space bar. So it's going to wait for the space bar indefinitely, so that way you can get all that set up and everything before moving on, because otherwise if you don't get that set up, the wake word agent won't work right and things will get weird. So I put a deal where it'll stop and pause. Then once you hit the space bar as the user, after you get that all ironed out with the web page and everything, then you'll run the wake word agent, which that's this wake word agent -e kitty AI thing. once you get that running, then the Alexa should be fired up and ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the camera now. I'm going to check and see if my VNC is working. If it is, I'll fire it up right here on my PC here. If my VNC is not working, I will just put the camera on the screen and we'll do it directly on the Raspberry Pi. So give me 1 second. Okay, guys. All right, so I couldn't get the VNC thing to work. If anybody knows how to get VNC to work or knows a place that just shows a guide on how to get VNC to work, would be great with the new Jessie. It worked great with the old Raspbian, but with Jessie, it's just an absolute nightmare to get VNC to work. So, okay, that's enough of my rant. Let's get on to this. So I'm going to open up a terminal here real fast, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that script that I had. I'll make this script available if you guys want it, so that way you don't have to do so much typing. But I'm going to do the start Alexa. I'll zoom in so you guys can see that. See, doing start alexa.sh. That's the shell script I'm going to run. Okay, hit enter. So that's going to load up all this stuff. Pretty soon I should get a web page that should pop up here in a minute. So yeah, building Alexa voice service sample, yada 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 yada. Do 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 do. Bust some Jeopardy music. I need to have some actual music on here. All right, so you're gonna get this. All right, so you get this message. Let's see if I can zoom in on it here. Oh, bear with me, camera. There we go. Okay, so you're gonna get this message. It's gonna tell you, please fill your device with the URL. Blah, 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 blah. And it's gonna tell you also, would you like the URL to open it automatically in the default browser? Yes, you would. So we're gonna click yes. So hit that, and then it says when you're done logging in, basically hit OK. So it's going to wait on you to log in. So here's the page. Oh, of course, it's Google thinks that it's dangerous. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to click it's fine, go to it anyway. Google. Well, that's good. Now, what I did was I've got my stuff logged in here. I went ahead and checked. There's a checkbox. You can say remember me, and that's what I did. So, but you just log in with your Amazon account. I'm going to hit continue. And then you get device tokens are ready is what is up in the corner. So I'm just going to minimize that. You can close this. You don't have to leave it open. And then I'm going to say, okay, I am finished. Okie dokie. And we should see, yep, we should see a whole bunch of gobbledygook up here. And then I'm going to go down to this. And I'm going to press the space bar. And that should start the wake word agent, which, let me zoom in. We can see that it started. Good grief, this monitor's dirty. Woo! Well, anyway. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the speakers. And I'm going to turn off the camera. I'm going to turn off my microphone that I have that's plugged in here. And I'm going to use the microphone. Yes, the crappy microphone on the camera. I promise I'll order a nice, good microphone, like shotgun mic or something, but currently I got to use the crappy one that's on the camera. So I'll be right back and we will try this thing out. Okay, so we've got this thing all put together. I'm sorry, the microphone is absolutely awful on this, but I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. So, Alexa. Let's get over here. Alexa. Alexa. Okay, so this is good, actually. This is good. We can actually troubleshoot this. So what we can do is we want to make sure that it's actually hearing us. So we're going to bunch back to the computer, and we're going to check out some stuff. But first, before we do that, while I've got this screen here, I'm going to check out how this, some troubleshooting techniques that I told you I'd show you. So let's go back to, instead of the crummy mic, let's go to the good mic. Okay, so we're now back on the good mic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my keyboard, first of all, get my mouse, is I'm going to go up to the Start menu, and I'm going to go down to to Preferences, my bad, and to Audio Device Settings, okay? So that's where I'm going to go. Now, first thing we need to do, yes, this is probably what the problem is. First thing we need to do is this BCM 2835. It says there's no controls, so you go over here to Select Controls, and we're going to check mark PCM. So we want the PCM to be selected. Say close. Now you should see we got a volume control here, so that's good, that's good. So you come up here and drop down, go to your USB microphone, and make sure that it has the same thing. Sometimes you have to come down and choose set controls on it too. Okay, so we're going to hit OK on that. We may end up having to reboot and restart all of this again. I'm going to push listen really fast just to see if I can hear it do it. What's today?
November 20th, 2016 is a Sunday.
Okay, so I got her to actually talk when I press the listen button. However, I want the wake word to wake her up. So I'm going to try it real fast just on this microphone. Alexa, what day is today?
Today is Sunday.
Okay, it looks like she's working. Let me switch monitors. That was probably what it was that sound option thing. Okay, let me switch microphones. Okay, so now we're on the crummy microphone yet again, and it looks like she's working. So let's try that again. Alexa. Hello.
Hi there.
So I live in Kansas, so I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. So there's a game going on today. So let's see what the score is. Alexa, what is the Kansas City Chiefs score?
The Chiefs are not playing right now. Earlier today, they lost to the Buccaneers, 19-17. They'll play on November 27th at 7:30 p.m. in Denver, Colorado against the Broncos.
No! All right, well, I guess they lost. Well, that's crap. So, all right, anyway, of course, I don't know. What did you expect? It is the Kansas City Chiefs. Anyway, I will still support them. Anyway, okay, so there we go. So that is how you get your very own Alexa that's going on. Oh, she's going to hear me.
Amazon Music is not supported for this device.
She heard me. I said her name, and so she heard me. So essentially, you can play around with that microphone. Here, I'm going to switch back to the good microphone, all right? And we're going to switch back. Alright guys, well I hope that you enjoyed this video and saw how to create an AlexaPi. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, when I put this together, I played with it for quite a while at night. I had my headphones on listening to her. It was actually pretty fun. So I tell you what, it actually is a pretty cool project and is very interesting stuff that Amazon is doing. Hats off to Amazon. I think that's great. My daughter's playing stuff in the background, so if you hear TV and stuff, yeah, she's blasting stuff while I'm trying to make a video. Anyway, if you guys want to check out other things, check out my channel for many other projects, including this one. I'll probably be doing some other stuff. I want to integrate this into something bigger and better. Something that I would like to do is, what's cool about the Raspberry Pi is it's an inexpensive way of getting an Alexa, which is the whole Amazon Alexa world. On the Alexa, you download an app, actually, that is the Alexa app, and then you put into her the skills. That's called, I don't know if you saw that when we were looking at that. There's skills that you can download, and it's basically the different things that she can respond to, and the voice commands that can actually run different apps and things that she's capable of doing, which is pretty darn cool. And as a developer, you can develop your own skills. That's where I think the Raspberry Pi comes in really cool, because Raspberry Pi has GPIO, right? It has the SPI bus, has the I2C bus. You can hook sensors and different things up to the Raspberry Pi, which I'm betting, I don't know for sure yet, but we'll see. I'm betting that you can probably write skills to ping or talk to those sensors. So my idea is making some sort of like an Iron Man Jarvis, right? Where you can use Alexa, you can hook up different sensors and different things. I was even thinking maybe biometric sensors where it's like monitoring your heart rate, your blood pressure, all that kind of stuff, your body temperature, and you could basically ask Alexa questions about stuff like that, and she could read those sensors and have input back into what you're asking. I think that would be really cool and really awesome. Now, like I said, I don't know if this can do this or not, but that's where my brain is heading with this whole Raspberry Pi implementation of the Alexa app. So, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, all that jazz. It really helps the channel out. If you want to support the channel, go down there and leave some Bitcoins if you are into that, or check out the page for all my t-shirts and stuff. I'm not wearing one right now, but check out my t-shirts. Check out the coffee mugs if you're a coffee drinker or a coffee mug person like me. Especially the tumbler. The tumbler is awesome. That works for anybody. So even if you're maybe a sports person, you put sports drinks or mix up hot, cold, whatever, you can put it in there. They're double walled. They're actually really nice. I enjoy mine. In fact, I've had a couple of friends at work buy them. So they're pretty cool. So grab some of those. That helps. All that money goes towards buying more stuff for the channel, and proceeds and things like that go to you guys. So what I'd like to do now is I would like to sign off, and we'll see if Alexa can help me. And we'll turn this back on. Say bye. Say bye. Will she do it? She has to think really hard to say goodbye. Well, guys, like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Take care. Keep coding, keep building, because that's what it's all about. And we will see you next time. I think she's confused. She's that blew her mind. She's mind blown right now. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.